1800 would settle nicely into today's business. That is, until now. For the reinsurance industry, pivot point changes everything. Soon it will be understood that the period before pivot point was as dark as the caveman period was before the abacus. Come and see for yourself if you don't believe. After a demonstration, you will understand what is possible.
In Indonesia yesterday, firefighters battled a blaze at a major fuel storage depot in northern Jakarta. The blaze at the Pertamina oil depot sent clouds of billowing black smoke into the sky. No one was believed to have been hurt. It was unclear what caused the fire, but supposedly explosions were heard from the tank. A spokesperson said that the Pertamina tank holds about 1.3 million gallons of regular gasoline. Scores of fire trucks, hundreds of firefighters and uniformed soldiers were at the scene. Police said they were investigating the cause of the blaze but gave no details. Over the weekend on Saturday night in Columbus, Ohio, a downtown area of the city, in the city's Grandview area, burned for several hours, destroying a whole block of stores and apartments. At least 100 firefighters were out fighting the blaze in sub-zero weather. National Weather Service said that the temperature was in the teens with winds blowing at about 18 miles per hour. The only injury was a firefighter brought to the hospital for treatment of facial burns. In Sao Paulo, Brazil, a roof collapsed at the headquarters of a Brazilian evangelical church, killing 8 people. The roof of the Reborn in Christ church caved in yesterday. The church denied reports that the roof had recently been renovated, and they insisted that the building was up to code. Also earlier today in Kenya, a collision between a passenger bus and a trailer killed 29 people. It was unclear what caused the accident, which occurred early this morning on the road between Nairobi and Mombasa. Police speculated that it could have been a head-on collision, but 29 people were killed and identified as dead at the scene. And at an Indonesian gold mine on the island of Lombok over the weekend, 4 people died and 11 were missing after a landslide. This occurred on Saturday night, and it was triggered after several days of severe rainfall in the area. The area is about 660 miles east of the capital of Jakarta. And earlier this morning, a substantial earthquake of 6.7 struck the Kermadec Islands north of New Zealand. If you look up here, you can see the bright orange a little bit off to the left. That's the scene of the earthquake. It occurred at 2:11 a.m. local time. It was about 1,000 kilometers southwest of Tonga. There were no immediate reports of any damage or tsunami alerts. The reason the stock market is closed in the United States today is that it's the national observance of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Dr. Martin Luther King, of course, is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee in 1968. In 1963, Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech at the Lincoln Memorial down in Washington, D.C. to several hundred thousand people, in which he said, "I have a dream that one day one of my children could grow up to become the President of the United States." Yesterday, at the Lincoln Memorial, this man, Barack Obama, who is an African American, is mounting the steps of the Lincoln Memorial to give a talk at the conclusion of a live concert that was being held in his honor. Tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, he will be sworn in by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. It's a big day in the United States. Optimism is very high. The New York Times and the Washington Post are both reporting that the President-elect's approval ratings are in the 70%. And there's a feeling of optimism indicated by both polls that he will, in fact, solve the problems facing the country. As importantly, there is a feeling in both polls that the people who are responding are prepared to give him a number of years to begin to work his way out of the mess that we're in. Let's keep our fingers crossed. No president, with the possible exception of Franklin Roosevelt, has assumed office under such conditions. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, with no public appearances scheduled since he arrived yesterday from Camp David, President Bush remains secluded. He will not be seen until 11:30 tomorrow morning, when he joins the President-elect for a ceremonial drive up to the Capitol building, where he will sit to the President-elect's right as he takes the oath of office and gives his speech. The President Bush, by then the former President, and former Vice President Cheney will exit the Capitol building on the east side. President Bush will be flown by helicopter to Andrews Air Force Base, where Air Force One, although it will not have those call letters, will fly him back to Texas. And there he will begin his life as a private citizen. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow on the big day.